The world did not wake up to a war. It woke up to a sentence. A sentence spoken casually, confidently, from the mouth of a former American president. Greenland, he said, was something the United States should have. Not as a metaphor, not as a joke, but as a strategic necessity. At first, many laughed. Commentators smiled awkwardly. Social media turned it into a meme. But behind closed doors, the laughter stopped almost immediately. Phones rang in foreign ministries. Emergency briefings were scheduled because the people who deal in power, territory, and history understood something the public did not. Statements like this are never random. Greenland is not just ice. It is position, it is leverage, it is the quiet high ground of the modern world. When Donald Trump first floated the idea of acquiring Greenland, Denmark responded with disbelief. The Danish Prime Minister called the proposal absurd. France quickly echoed support for Denmark, warning that European territory was not for sale. Germany spoke of international norms. NATO officials, usually cautious with words, suddenly sounded uneasy. Something had shifted. Greenland sits at the intersection of continents. It watches the North Atlantic, the Arctic, and the polar routes that are opening as the ice melts. For decades, it was a frozen afterthought. Now, it is becoming a gateway. Whoever influences Greenland influences future shipping lanes, missile trajectories, satellite coverage, and Arctic dominance. Behind the scenes, military planners have always known this. The United States already maintains a presence there. Thule Air Base has long been a silent node in America's early warning system. What changed was not the geography. What changed was the world. As ice retreats, opportunity advances. Rare earth minerals, essential for modern weapons, electric vehicles, and advanced electronics, lie beneath Greenland's surface. Oil and gas estimates grow more tempting each year. New sea routes could cut weeks off global trade. In strategic terms, Greenland is no longer remote. It is central. This is where the apprehension begins. NATO is built on unity, but unity strains when interests diverge. If the United States signals unilateral ambition over Greenland, what does that mean for alliance trust, for European sovereignty, for the idea that borders in the West are settled? Russia has been watching silently. Its Arctic militarization is no secret. Bases have been reactivated. Icebreakers expanded. China, calling itself a near-Arctic state, has increased scientific missions and economic outreach. Research stations, investments, partnerships, all polite words that hide long-term intent. In diplomatic corridors, the question is whispered, not spoken aloud. If Greenland becomes the next arena of great power competition, who controls the rules? France worries about precedent. Denmark worries about autonomy. The European Union worries about fragmentation. NATO worries about escalation without consensus. And Washington worries about being late to a game it believes has already started. Greenland's own people are often missing from these headlines. Indigenous communities live with the ice. not above it. For them, this is not a chessboard. It is home. Every superpower conversation risks becoming another chapter in a long history of decisions made far away. Yet history has its rhythm. Power vacuums invite pressure. Strategic silence invites occupation, sometimes without soldiers, sometimes without flags. What made Trump's statements different was not their legality, but their clarity. He said aloud what many strategists think privately. In doing so, he forced the world to react. Is Greenland protected by law or by relevance? Is NATO prepared for internal disagreement? Is the Arctic the next Cold War, or the first warm one? No tanks have moved, no borders have changed, and yet something irreversible has begun. Because once the idea of possession enters the global conversation, it does not leave quietly. Greenland remains covered in ice, silent, vast, watching, and the world, suddenly aware of what lies beneath that silence, is watching back.